Getting sharp for the postseason. Chicago 2 games, then pack up the gear. Mahomes, Trubisky, first-round picks in the 2017 draft class. As you see, the numbers, stats in favor of Mahomes, culinary edge, Trubisky, although I will say I like ketchup on hot dogs. And Butchie, you like ketchup on steak.
I do occasionally.
Doesn't make you a bad guy. Early first quarter, no score, 3rd and 13 for the Bears. Terrell Suggs, 17 years in the business. Remember, got let go. Arizona, he's out there now. Chiefs picked him up. Thought that maybe he'd only play for Baltimore. No, but he's doing work there. Forces Trubisky into some trouble. Chiefs get it. 3rd and 18. 3rd and 18 should be a get him off the field down. Instead, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, first down, keeps the drive alive. Now it's 3rd and 5 from the 12. Mahomes is under some pressure. Mahomes is just, you know what, I'll handle this my own personal self, and I'll take it all the way to the end zone, 7-0 in favor of the Chiefs. Less than a minute to go in the half. Travis Kelce's got in one. Mahomes, he's counting up 5. He goes all the way to 10. That's how many fingers he has. He was also the 10th pick of the 2017 draft, chosen after Trubisky. 4th quarter, 17-3, 3rd and 8. Mahomes. I mean, they have a punter. They didn't really need him because Mahomes just, will keep the drive alive. Spencer Ware. That's 4 downs. Go again. New ones. 3rd and 8. Damian Williams. Yep. We'll get the first down. How about a touchdown? Mahomes 6 of 9, 91 yards and a score on 3rd down. That's the money down. They win 26-3. Michelle Steele, home game with Frank Clark.
You did make a Pro Bowl this year, but I know that you do not want to end your season at the Pro Bowl. How dangerous can this team be in January? Well, you have guys like 15 on your side.
I got the best quarterback in the league, and the best offense in the league. And, our offense just complements our defense so well. And I feel like that's one of the things that came together. It's just a whole team effort. When the offense is, winning the possession, time of possession, they winning first, they getting first downs, conversions, and it makes it easier on the defense. Like I said, it's only so much work we can do. We probably played 40 plays today. I don't know, but, hats off to our offense, Pat, moving the chains, and, everything's coming together around the holidays.
Congratulations, Frank. Hopefully this team is a gift that keeps on giving. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, too.
Yeah, an efficient performance by Kansas City all the way around. KC still has a shot at the number 2 seed in a bye. It would need to win next week, have the Patriots lose. For the 3 seed, Chiefs, Patriots winning will do that. If they lose, then they need the Texans to stay to lose to stay in the 3 spot. So they could be off, they could be hosting, one of the 2.
They're going to be the 3. The Patriots are going to win to be the 2. So they'll be the 3 seed. They're playing the Dolphins. So they'll be the 3 seed.
You cannot knock the Dolphins right now. This team is playing extremely hard every week, Bucci. Don't you do that.
They will get smashed in Foxborough next weekend. Ketchup guy at all?
A little bit. Not as much as Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. I'm a big fan of ketchup, not ashamed of it. Let's talk about the Chiefs. Again, early in the year, they're giving up all kinds of points, over 20 almost every week. But lately, it's been tighter.
No.
Is it getting better?
Absolutely. And since they played in Mexico City, they haven't given up more than 17 points and 3 points each of the last 2 weeks. And it all started when Tyrann Mathieu started to move around. And we saw that again last night. Early on in this game, they were using him inside, outside. He was a safety. He was the nickel. He was sideline to sideline making plays on running backs. And now you add T-Sizzle, Terrell Suggs, as you lose Okafor, and you get a championship caliber, Pro Bowl level football player on your team. And this team has started to hunt the football. And we've seen it on every area and every phase of this defense. They are different. Steve Spagnuolo has this defense playing extremely well. And that was the one thing we questioned. Could they be good enough to stop teams in the playoffs? And so right now, looking at this team, to me, they should be the number 2 threat in the AFC, right behind the Baltimore Ravens.
Again, looks like the 3. Probably Steelers or Titans for the first game at home. No problem with either of those 2 teams, probably.
I mean, I would think more of a problem than you're thinking the Patriots are going to have with the Dolphins.
28-13.
144 at that mark when he set the mark, as Tim said. What else is there to say? Sean Payton and company knew they'd have to pay Michael Thomas a ton of money. They did. And the Saints and Sean Payton are winners again. Their 12th of the season.
It's good to get a win. Be it we started off slow. We struggled in a lot of areas to start the game, and it was frustrating. I thought defensively after those 2 touchdown drives, I thought we really did a few things to get that momentum shifted, and then Special teams gave us some great returns today, and then offensively we finally got going.
So now the real issue on the other side is the Titans playoff scenario. So right now the 6th seed in the AFC, but as I'm sure most of you know, the Steelers lost today, meaning that if the Titans can essentially win their last regular season game, which will be against Houston, who clinched the AFC South on Saturday, who knows exactly who the Texans might play, the Titans would secure the 6th and final spot in the AFC. Plenty of playoff implications at stake where our Dan Graziano is standing. But first, I don't want to say this in any way other than the way it needs to be said. Get me up to speed on more history for the player at the wide receiver position that's out to the best start in NFL history.
Zubin, just another ho-hum 12 catches for Michael Thomas of the Saints today, which puts him at 145 for the season and breaks the single-season record set by the Colts' Marvin Harrison in 2002. Michael was kind enough when the game was over to stop and talk to us about it.
It's just a blessing ultimately to be in that position, to accomplish something like that, accomplish it with a win, and just to be able to do that. It's humbling and it's a blessing, but we still have more to go.
Personally, what do you credit for the success you've had in this league at such a young age?
My teammates, the whole Saints organization, from front office to anyone, to the people that clean up the buildings. They trusted me, they believe in me. My coaches, they put me in position to make a lot of key plays for this offense, and I take a lot of pride in that. And we have big goals, so when your numbers call, you have to do your job and do it at a high level.
I heard Cam Jordan in the locker room tell you go put that record next week where nobody can touch it. How far do you think you can take it?
Just whatever the coach calls in the huddle, whatever Drew calls and whatever he needs me to be at the right place at the right time to make a big play. I'm not really, I'm just trying to catch as many passes come my way.
Thank you, Michael. Congratulations. You heard him talk about big goals. The Saints have already clinched their playoff spot, but they're still hoping they can move up into one of the top 2 NFC seeds. They need some help starting tomorrow night with the Vikings against the Packers. That's on ESPN. You can check that out tomorrow night. But on the flip side, the Titans need to win next week or have both the Steelers and the Colts lose in order for them to get the 6th seed in the AFC. After the game, Titans coach Mike Vrabel said, the approach here is that the playoffs have essentially already started for us.
Interesting to note that the Titans couldn't stop Michael Thomas, but Dan Graziano stopped him for an interview. They've got the lowly Panthers next week. Stay healthy, and those Super Bowl dreams remain alive. Dan, thank you. Interesting for the Titans, too. You come off this sort of loss, and yet everything's still in front of you. It's unique. On the other side, for the Saints, here they are at 12-3. Sean Payton wasn't happy with a lot of things that happened. You heard him in the post-game commentary, but you say it was a tale of two halves, and when it counted the most, they were there.
Yeah, and I think that they're exactly right, and you're exactly right. And you think the Titans really, this game meant nothing, literally nothing to them. They rested Derrick Henry, but everyone else pretty much, went out there and put out a good effort. And then you look at what they did defensively. They were giving the Saints fits in the first half, and it was the kind of their blitz package that was interesting. This is a 3-man rush, and Derek Robertson ends up with a sack on Drew Brees. Then they get into a situation later where they got guys standing up. It's just a 4-man rush. The twist isn't handled properly by the Saints, but then in terms of the second half, here's a 3rd and 12. They bring in a corner blitz. They identify it perfectly. Alvin Kamara's there to pick up the corner. And then who do you go to? You go to Michael Thomas. And so I don't know what Sean Payton said at halftime, but I will guarantee you something like, wait a second, you guys need to wake up because you didn't show up in the first half, especially on that offensive line. And then the second half was totally different. In fact, we saw it in the highlight, Zubin. The beginning of that second half was the big, long Kamara run. And he was untouched. Right. It was like, okay, here we go. Now this looks like the Saints offense we're used to seeing.
You saw what Michael Thomas did in this game and what he has a chance to do in the next game to even move this record, as we said, out of touch. But you also saw the humility that he has in his interview there with Dan Graziano. How badly would all 32 teams like to have a Michael Thomas on their team?
Yeah, I think if you asked a lot of quarterbacks in private, like, okay, who's the best receiver in football? They maybe say Michael Thomas.
Right.
Obviously the production speaks for itself overwhelmingly. But then the fact that he comes with what appears to be no drama whatsoever.
Zero.
Yes,
From
zero.
a wide receiver, that's unheard of at that level,
You're
right?
surprised about it. That's why
really, let's talk about it, right?
It's crazy. And the other thing that's crazy is that everybody knows he's getting the ball.
Everybody.
I think we talked about this last week. The next closest, leading receiver for the team coming into this week I think it was like Ted Ginn Jr. with like 28 receptions.
Right.
So it's like, you know who they're throwing it to. People try to double him.